In a surprising turn of events, and one that I think is long overdue for the Chicago Bulls franchise, they today have announced a Ring of Honor. And this is important for a lot of reasons. The Chicago Bulls, like many other franchises across all of sports, have moved away from retiring jersey numbers. So it's left many Bulls fans to ask some of their favorite players over Bulls history, how will the Bulls celebrate those players outside of just kind of bringing them back, announce them, having putting their name on the big screen and things like that, and having a video package. How are you going to celebrate the players that have given and sacrificed for your franchise? Well, the Chicago Bulls now have announced their inaugural Ring of Honor, and this is important. I think I dropped a video on this about the potential of the Bulls having a Ring of Honor type thing about a year and a half ago, and so they have now announced their inaugural Ring of Honor class. And it's a good one. Now, there are going to be some players that are left off this. We're going to talk about the players that are left off of it and what it can mean that comes down the pipeline for the future for the Chicago Bulls franchise. But the inaugural Ring of Honor class for the Chicago Bulls are this: Jerry Sloan, Bob Love, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Tony Kukoc, Chet Walker, Artis Gilmore, Dennis Rodman are part of that initial class for the Chicago Bulls. And I think that's important. Then when you look at the outside the players, Phil Jackson, Jerry Krause, Johnny Red Kerr, Tex Winter, and Dick Kellen as well are announced as part of that inaugural class. And then you also have the 1995-96 Chicago Bulls championship team that are announced as the inaugural Ring of Honor class for the Chicago Bulls. I love this. Let me be clear. I absolutely love that the Bulls are doing this. I love that this is an opportunity to celebrate the players that, like I said, have sacrificed for this franchise and have won championships, won awards, whatever that's going to be. And especially like we recently talked about Dennis Rodman potentially having his jersey number retired. And he talked about he would love to see his jersey number up in the rafters with Pippen and Jordan and the players that he played with. But, that's not going to happen. It seems like the Bulls, like I said, it's not just the Chicago Bulls. Many other franchises across all of sports have stopped retiring jersey numbers because at some point you get to the point where you're just running out of numbers. So I think this is amazing. I love this inaugural class. If you notice, none of the 2,000 players are on this class list, which we'll talk about here in a second. But I think this is a big step for the Chicago Bulls franchise to find a way to keep, like I said, celebrating the players. Now, I know there are going to be some people that say, well, are they doing this now because of the state of the franchise, things like that? I think this is long overdue. This is something other franchises do in sports. And this first initial class is celebrating some of the biggest names from the past of the Chicago Bulls. Now, there are players ask, where's Joakim Noah? Where's Kirk Heinrich? Where's Luol Deng? When is Derrick Rose going to be in this class? And I think we're going to get to that, right? You don't want to kind of blow your load all in that initial class. You want to leave some things because this is going to be something that the Bulls do year after year theoretically. And so you want to leave some of those names on that list to celebrate. But yeah, Kirk Heinrich is definitely one that I think expect to make this list. Derrick Rose, that goes without saying. Joakim Noah, that goes without saying. Luol Deng, that's another one that kind of goes without saying in my opinion. But you're going to get other names as well on that list as the Bulls look to celebrate the players and the history of their franchise. Again, I love this. I think this is an amazing idea. I think that it's amazing that they brought this. I heard no inklings of this happening. This completely caught me and many other Bulls content creators and fans completely by surprise because the Bulls have, for the long part, kind of been quiet. Mom has been the word about how they're going to celebrate the players from their past because they're not retiring jersey numbers anymore. But when you think about some of the teams that could be thrown in there as well, the 72 and 10 team is definitely going to be one that's brought into the Ring of Honor at some point in time. This is major. This is a great step. Joakim Noah has to get in there at some point in time, and you gotta know it's coming. They may be waiting until Derrick Rose retires. I expect it's probably going to be Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah at least are going to go in there at the same time. Maybe even Luol Deng goes in there with them, but he may come before. Maybe him and Kirk Heinrich as players that were kind of brought to this team at the same time. But Joakim Noah, Derrick Rose, they're coming at some point in time. Ben Gordon, I don't think he's done enough to kind of get there when it comes down to it. But like I said, I love the fact that the Chicago Bulls did this. I think this is amazing. I think this is a great idea. And I can't wait to see the future names that are also going to be on this list. But I want to hear from you guys down below. What do you think about this inaugural class? Yes, it's missing some big names. But again, keep in mind that you're not going to throw everybody's name out there that you want to see in the Ring of Honor right away. You need to save some names so you have names to go in there every single year. You're probably going to see, some of the other names that we're expecting in that. Paxson's going to be on that list at some point in time, both as GM and as a player that's won titles here. BJ Armstrong's probably going to be on there at some point in time as well. Don't be surprised if Luke Longley, especially, he gets on there again as some time goes on. Yes, you're going to see some teams brought in there that has those players on it, but specific players, you're going to see that down the road as well. But let me know, what are some of the biggest names left off it so far that you guys want to see? Who do you want to see in the future? Who are some guys that you think may be on the precipice that it may have to take some convincing to get in the Ring of Honor? Let me know what you guys think on all that down below. Make sure you're following the show at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail, the number to do so, 270-2996. We are the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See Red if you can, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.